Hello, it's Paul here, back with another video for you. I'm in what I laughably call my office, where I do my writing and various other bits and pieces. I store a lot of my collection of geek stuff. As you can see, there's a lot more of it around that you can't see from here. I'm doing a video today which I'm quite excited about. This is not something, excuse me, it's not something I ever thought to say, but the traffic going past. Not something I thought I would ever be doing, because during lockdown, as I've mentioned in an earlier video, I've been spending some time on YouTube and looking at the sort of stuff that people do, and I was caught by the phenomenon of the unboxing video, where people opened up their post in front of the camera and talked about it. And I thought, what a bizarre thing to do, but I found some of these videos quite interesting and quite charming, as people were opening up their new DVDs and toys and bits and pieces. So having had a fairly hefty postal delivery today, like this, I thought I would do the same. Just open up these things and have a little chat about the contents. During lockdown, I have been doing some bizarre things. I've not been able to go and splash the cash as I normally would, socialising and frittering it away on wine, women, and song. I've been online buying lots of DVDs, not so much DVDs, but Blu-rays, 4Ks. And in fact, I'm planning to do a video shortly just going through my 4K video DVD or Blu-ray collection. Not that I've got a lot of them, but I've started building up a collection of them. And I've been picking up a few in sales. I've been on eBay collecting comic books in the 60s. I think I've just been reconnecting with my youth, with the present day in a bit of chaos. It's been quite nice to find a bit of solace in things I liked as a kid. And that's some of the stuff that I've been investing in and buying, and I suspect that's what a lot of this stuff is. So I shall unbox these things and have a little chat about what's in there. I don't think there's anything extraordinary. There's a big box, I know what that is, a couple of smaller things. So we'll just unbox them and see what's there. I'm also going to do at the end a quick film review of a film I watched last night called Saint Maud, which I highly recommend that you watch it. It's a very good British psychological sort of horror thriller type thing. I've just noticed that my glasses look a bit wonky, or it could be my eyes, who knows. Anyway, let the unboxing video begin. The first parcel we have is this little one. He said, covering up his address. I know what this is because, as I said, what I've been doing is reconnecting with my youth quite a lot, and I've been online. Now that I've set up my office, I can put a lot of figures and things on display. And having been reading a lot of Marvel stuff, the old Spider-Man and Daredevil comics, I've been buying lots of the little pewter sort of action figure things that you can get, these Eagle Moss type collection things, more on that later. And I've been, for some reason, I got obsessed with Spider-Man, buying all Spider-Man's villains. So you can't see it from here, but I've got Spider-Man, Dr. Octopus the Vulture, Electro, all these main villains. I don't know why. And I think this is another one of those. I've just been picking them up off eBay for a few quid. And I think that this is going to be another one of that set. Yes, what we have here is a figure of Sandman, one of Spider-Man's most persistent enemies. If you've seen the Spider-Man films, of course, you'll have seen him in Spider-Man 3, played by an actor whose name I've forgotten, but it's Thomas something or other. So this will go with my other Spider-Man collection of figures. Yeah, this cost me about 3 or 4 quid, I think. I don't think it was expensive. On eBay, it's quite fun going around eBay picking up these things. There he is, Sandman, in all his semi-sand glory. So that'll go up with my Spider-Man collection, which is just off screen. So that's box 1. Box 2. Obviously this is, he said, hi, thank you, Jessica. This is obviously some sort of Blu-ray type affair. I bought a few bits and pieces from Zavvi over the last few days because they've had quite good deals on steelbooks and Blu-rays, and I've decided I want to get all the Marvel films on 4K and steelbook if possible, because they're really collectible and very nice, and some of them are quite reasonably priced at the moment. I think this is one of those. However, it isn't one of those. This is something completely different, which I didn't think would come this quickly. At the moment, there is a sale on Network Publishing, who do lots of cult TV, video and Blu-rays, and they're currently doing, I think it's something like a 30% off selected Jerry Anderson shows, and I'm a big fan of Jerry Anderson shows, Thunderbird, UFO and so on. And I picked up this one. This is the complete Captain Scarlet and the Mysterons, the classic 1960s follow-up series to Thunderbirds, which I've got on a chunky DVD box set, but it's quite nice to pick it up on lovely glossy Blu-ray. Don't know if there's special features on it. I'm going to open it actually just to see what's on it. I should get my trusty murdering scissors. It's not really a murdering scissors, YouTube, don't ban me. My murdering scissors is much bigger than this. So I shall just open this up. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a massive fan of Captain Scarlet. I remember when it was shown again on BBC Two back in the early 90s, I found it a little bit dry and humorless. Not that Thunderbirds was a laugh riot, or UFO, which is my personal favourite, but this is quite a deadpan sort of series. Nice little set though, as you see all the selection of DVDs. I don't think there's any special features on it, I'll check that later on, but it's just nice to have the episodes. I'll probably keep the box sets, although it does take up a lot of space. My DVDs are over there if you're wondering why I'm looking up that way. So that's Captain Scarlet and the Mysterons on Blu-ray, which is item number 2. Item number 3, I think I know what this is. This is something I bought on a complete ridiculous whim earlier in the week. If you're on Facebook, you will probably get all bombarded with all those adverts about domestic things that you can't live without, things to have around the house. And I spent not an enormous amount of money, but I've spent stupid amounts of money on silly things that get used once or twice and then thrown away. I'm having trouble opening this. Get the scissors open again. It's like Blue Peter, but without the charm, isn't it? Here we go. Right. This is something which I'm sure I will make use of for a couple of days. This is, if you're like me, you have a lot of clutter around your bedside, books and glasses and iPads and things littered all over the place. This is a thing that goes under your bed, under your mattress, between your mattress. I think it goes like that. You sort of fold it under the mattress, and you've got these sleeves to put books and iPads and yeah, no, I don't know what I was thinking of, but it might come in quite handy. Yeah, I might delete that bit. Anyway, the last box today is, I know exactly what this is. This is the latest delivery from Eaglemoss. Now, about 20-30 years ago, at least it seems like it, I subscribed to the Eaglemoss Doctor Who figurine collection. It's a brilliant collection of figures. If you've been collecting them, you get the gorgeous models of classic Doctor Who creatures, right from the beginning of the series right up to date, and I've got them dotted all over the house in various configurations on various shelves. It looks as if this collection is never going to end now. It's just been extended from 200 issues to 220. I think it's on about issue 180 at the moment. But it's one of those things, once you start collecting it, it's very hard to stop because the figures are so beautifully made. Even some of the slightly ropey ones, the more recent series, are really nicely made, but I just love the classic figures that they do. And every few weeks one of these boxes like this turns up with Hero Collector all over it. This is the latest one, and I actually had one on Saturday with 2 figures, so I wasn't expecting the next lot for a while. But I think that this lot is going to be a rather nice selection of figures. And as I open up the box, I've got here, they do these display plinths, which have got space for about 10 figures on, and I've had loads and loads of these things. I tend to chuck them on eBay and get rid of them because I don't use them, because they just take up so much space. By the time you've got the plinth and then the figures on there, you know, if you haven't got a lot of display space, they take up a lot of room. So I just tend to put them freestanding on their own. They look very nice that way. So that'll be going. We've got here one of their special sets that they do. As well as the range itself, they do special other figures. They do a rare Dalek set, and this is the latest in that collection, rare Dalek number 17, which is basically an exploding mutant Dalek from 1967, Evil of the Dalek story. So I'll just tear it open and get the to show you. There's nice little magazines with the figures as well that tell you history of the creatures or the characters as they appear. I'm not that interested in those, to be honest, but I just like the figures. And this is a very nice figure. They've done loads and loads of Daleks, every possible permutation of Dalek you can think of. But like I say, it's one of those collections that once you start on it, you can't really stop halfway through. I did think a while ago of stopping it and then just picking up odd ones from Eagle Moss's site as and when, but you'd have to chase to get things like this, which incidentally, even though it's only come out this week, it's already available on eBay. People are charging 100 quid for it, which is just not on. So this is the Dalek from Evil of the Daleks, exploded mutant Dalek from the battle scene in the final episode. Very nice little figure, so that will go with my other Daleks. Excuse me. So that's a nice little figure. We've also got figures 190 and 191 in the ongoing collection itself. This is an interesting one. This is Arshad, who, if hopefully you're not one of those Doctor Who fans who has abandoned the series because there's a lady in the TARDIS now. This is Arshad, the sort of Cyberman creature who appeared in one of the episodes from last year, a couple of the episodes from last year. Sort of half human, half Cyberman creature. Quite a disturbing idea for somebody who's half converted into a Cyberman, who's trying to find this weapon that would turn him into like a god. Certainly packaged very well. So there he is. That's Arshad the Cyberman. Nice little figure. I do like that. It's very nice. They're very nicely detailed figures. I find that the best figures they do are the creatures. I think sometimes the more human characters, they seem to have trouble with the likenesses. The likenesses aren't as good as they could be sometimes, but the actual monsters and creatures and robots and so on are always very well done. The final one in this particular box is a classic series figure, which I'm quite interested to see, because it's one of my favourite actors from the 50s and 60s, and in fact right up into the 80s. He played Batman's butler in Tim Burton's Batman films. It's Michael Gough as the Celestial Toymaker in the 1965 story of the same name, which no longer exists, sadly. I think there's one episode in the BBC archives. And there he is. That's Michael Gough. Not a bad resemblance actually. That's quite a good figure. Very nice sort of Mandarin type costume. That's a nice little figure. So I'm quite pleased with those three. I wasn't expecting to get them because I had a delivery on Saturday. So it's nice to get the new ones have arrived. The next one has more Cybermen, Cyber Warriors. So you do get a lot of Daleks and Cybermen for your money in this collection of figures. But they're nice figures, to be fair. And it's a nice investment, and they're just nice to display. That's my unboxing section. Wasn't that exciting? A few nice bits and one bit of tat for the house, which I may never use. Before I sign off, just a quick film review. Film I caught up with last night, which came out last year, I believe, in that sort of downtime between lockdowns in the summer, where a few films sort of slipped out under the radar. I didn't get a chance to see it because I think it came out just before the next lockdown came in. My glasses are very wonky. It's called St. Maud, and it's a psychological horror film. It's written and directed by Rose Glass. I'm just checking on my iPad. It's not all up there, unfortunately. It's a directorial debut, and it's a very, very striking British... I suppose it is a horror because it's got sort of demonic possession and sort of bizarre things going on. But it stars Morfydd Clark and Jennifer Ely, basically, is the two main characters. Morfydd Clark plays a girl called Rosie, or Katie rather, who is a carer. She's worked in a hospital as a nurse, but she's now become a private carer because there was an incident with one of her patients who died despite her best efforts to save him, and she sort of blames herself. So she becomes a bit isolated and a bit of a loner, and becomes a private carer and finds herself in the employ of Amanda, who is an American sort of dancer, sort of celebrity type, who is living with incurable cancer. I think it's lymphoma, and she becomes a living carer, and she looks after her, and they form a sort of a bond. They become friends. Maud is ferociously religious. She prays and she she believes in God. And she has this connection with Amanda, and she's trying to basically save her soul because Amanda's had a fairly hedonistic lifestyle, and she introduces her to the concept of God because Amanda, like most of us, I suppose, is worried about what happens when you pass away. She fears the oblivion of death, and Maud tries to convince her that, well, no, it's not the end, that something goes on. As the film goes on, the two fall out for various reasons, and Maud finds herself back in her manky little flat. I think it's set in Blackpool, and she has sort of, not exactly visions, but she communicates with God, and it appears that God communicates with her, and she takes it upon herself to try and rescue Amanda before she dies, to try and save her soul, and she becomes sort of obsessed with the idea of being able to do this. It's a very intense, atmospheric film, beautifully shot. I mean, obviously quite a low budget film. It's not all bang and flash, it's not all jump scares, but there are at least 2 scenes in it that made me a sort of a hardened fan of this sort of stuff feel some chills, because it's quite striking imagery, and it certainly sort of makes you jump a little bit and think, wow. And especially the ending is extraordinarily strong. Quite a disturbing sort of film, so if you're of a very nervous disposition, you might want to think twice. But if you're a fan of clever, thought-provoking films, because I think it's sort of a treatise on loneliness and what it can do to people, and what belief and grief can do to people, based on these 2 particular characters who are brought together in terrible circumstances, and the inevitability of certain things. So there's a lot going on in this film, but it's very visually arresting. Interesting story, superb acting, very nicely made, and it's not your usual, boo type horror film, which can be entertaining, but this is something that's a bit more thought-provoking and a bit more interesting, to be honest. And it's available, I think it's just come out on DVD, and it's on streaming services and so on. It's called Saint Maud, and it's highly recommended, but it's quite intense in places, so like I say, be of a strong disposition if you choose to go in there. Anyway, I think that's about it for this video. Hope you've found some entertainment in my ramblings and rantings and my unboxings. I can't believe at my age, I'm unboxing things on YouTube. What's it come to? This is what the pandemic has done to me. But it's quite fun, and I hope that hope you get some entertainment out of it. As I said, I've got a couple of things I'm planning to do. I've got a book review coming up shortly of a book of Doctor Who illustrations. You might have seen there's a review on the Starburst magazine website. I'm going to chat about that. And like I said, I'm going to do a video just going through my 4K Blu-ray collection, but I'll probably leave that. I've got 2 or 3 in the post on the way, so I might wait until they turned up before I actually do that. So anyway, that's it for now. Hope you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm trying to find a way to put the subscribe button on the screen, but probably a bit beyond me. So just press that subscribey thing there, and press that likey thing there. Don't press the not likey thing, because that's not good. And hopefully I will see you another time, another place. Thanks for watching. Bye bye now.